finishers for our boys side of the bracket. For this game, we will have the Baxter Springs Lions as the visiting team, facing off against College Heights Cougars, the home team. For the Lions, we have number 4, Jacob Grant. For the Cougars, number 1, Jace Walker. Now for the Lions, it's number 10, Weston Schaefer. For the Cougars, it's number 3, Ben Schumacher. Now for the Lions, it's number 12, Gage Maggard. Now up for the Cougars, number 11, Colson Dickinson. For the Lions, it's number 15, Jaden Alexander. Now for the Cougars, number 12, Caleb Quaddy. Last for the Lions, it's number 20, Isaiah Main. Last for the Cougars, it's number 25, Adam Staten. The Lions are coached by Alan Hippler and assisted by Kyle Cross and Tyler Underhill. Cougars are coached by Steve Harrell, assisted by Josh Quad.
All right, we're here ready for the third place game. Cougars versus the Lions, Baxter Springs versus College Heights.
Should be a good, entertaining ball game. Stayed and watched the Baxter Springs Lions play Parsons Vikings last night. It was a very, very energetic, good game to watch.
Number 4, Grant doing the tip for the Lions. Cougars win it to Stanton. Over to Walker. Quaddy flashes high. Onto the wing to Stanton. To Walker. Onto the left wing for 3 for Dickens. Quaddy gets the offensive rebound. Can't get the putback, gets his own rebound again. Draws the foul and finishes. Early bucket for Caleb Quaddy.
Padding his stats, getting several rebounds there, getting our offensive rebounds up.
Quaddy converts the three-point play. Lions inbounded on the end line. Maggard up to number 20, Maine. Off the backboard. Pulled down by Maggard. Swung around the horn by the Lions. Shot fake baseline drive. Stanton's able to cut him off. Back up top to Alexander. Alexander swings it over to Maggard. Maggard holds and resets for Maine. Maine swings it to the left, switch across the court. Into the short corner. Opposite side. Good defense by the Cougars. Cuts off Schaefer. Schaefer kicks it back. Back out to Schaefer in the corner. Enters it into the short corner for Grant. Quaddy pulls down the rebound. Outlet to Dickens.
They got the shot they were looking for, just couldn't finish it. Good defense by the Cougars. Pulls down the defensive rebound.
Dickens up top holds, gets it to Schumacher on the wing. Back up top to Stanton as he flashes high. Dickens drives in, jump stop. Maine gets a hand in there. Quaddy gets the loose ball all the way across to Stanton. Three-pointer for Schumacher. It's good.
Good ball movement. That's that inside-outside game we're looking for. Get the wide open look then when we kick it back out from being down low.
Early 6-point lead for the Cougars. Lions spreading it out. Schaefer back up top to Maine for 3, and he answers. Stanton quickly up ahead to Schumacher. Double comes, he gets it back to Stanton. Under the left side for 3 by Dickens. Rebound pulled down by number 10, Schaefer. Lions bring it up into the front court. Schaefer pulls up his dribble, is able to get it back from Alexander. Over to Maggard into the short corner for Grant. Switched across back up top to Maine for 3. Walker's able to pull down the rebound. To the wing, over to Dickens. Dickens looks baseline, comes back, flashes to the elbow to Stanton. Schumacher's open for 3. It's long. Long rebound falls to Walker. Walker looks for an option, dribbles back out. Over to Schumacher. Schumacher will reset back over to Walker. Walker gets instruction from the coach. Schumacher on the wing. Stanton flashes the elbow. He finds him. Oh, Stanton can't handle it all the way through. And Maggard pulls up the loose ball. Up ahead to Alexander. He pulls and gets it back to Maine. Switched all the way across the court to Maggard. Finds number 4, Grant, on the baseline. And he converts.
He's the one we want to stop. Maine, I know, made his first one, but he missed his next one, and they did not make very many threes last night. Their big scorer is number 4.
Walker stepped on the end line on that baseline drive. Lions take possession.
So 15 and 4, they like to get the ball inside, so we need to keep our eyes on that because they're not very likely to beat us with three-pointers.
Maggard back up top to Maine. Into the short corner for Grant. He finds the cutter. Alexander back up to Maine. Off the back iron, fight for the rebound. Number 10, Schaefer, pulls it down. Power move as Quaddy is able to hold position, and Schaefer gets the roll. Lions with the first lead of the game at 7-6. Swung across the horn. Quaddy flashes the elbow, back up to Schumacher, over to Dickens. To the elbow to Stanton. Quick three by Dickens. Stanton pulls down the rebound up to Walker at the top. Walker pushes through, gets into the paint, finds Stanton on the cut. Loose ball. Walker gets it back, kicks it over to Schumacher. He takes the three and good.
Again, that nice kick out. Schumacher 2 for 3 on his threes. It's going to help. Good hustle by Jace on that.
Lions maintain possession, deflected by Walker up to Dickens. Dickens pushes in, big block by Schaefer. Quaddy gets it back in the corner, takes the long 2. Stanton fighting for position, pulls down the rebound. Gets it out to Dickens, back up top to Schumacher. Schumacher at the top of the key, over to Walker on the left. Quaddy flashes the elbow, kicked back up to Dickens at the top of the key. And Coach Harrell wants a timeout for the Cougars.
Coach Harrell wants a 30-second timeout. Both teams staying in zone right now. Baxter, that's pretty much what they did the whole entire night last night against Parsons, and slowed it down into Parsons' half-court game, and that's how they got back in it. They still ended up losing with that 10-2 run at the end of the game, but that's how they got back in it, with tough zone defense and missed shots then.
Both teams still with their starting 5, 3:16 left in the first. Dickens inbounds to Walker. Walker being defended by Schaefer, kicked over to Dickens, back up top to Schumacher. Back to Dickens on the left side, dribbles off his foot and hits it on the end line. Miller and Yukon at the table, sub in for Stanton and Dickens. Alexander into Schaefer.
Turnovers that unforced errors on our part so far.
Over to Maine, back to Maggart, looking down low for Grant. He rises up, can't get it to go. Walker on the backside, pulls down the rebound. Walker's pushing.
Gonna call carry on that. Not gonna get a lot of fouls called.
Yeah, that's an interesting call because he would have to put down another dribble to get the carry, and he never got the other dribble down.
He didn't have the ball anymore. He lost the ball.
Schaefer for 3. Off the front rim, fight for the rebound, falls to Schumacher. He'll push. Alexander comes up to trap. Back to Walker. Schaefer defended on Walker. Walker pushes Quaddy back off the ball screen, gets it over to Miller on the left wing. Walker holds up top. Back over to Miller. Miller looks inside. Nothing there. Kicks it back to Schumacher. Swung across to Walker. Looks for Quaddy in the cut. Finds Yukon on the short corner. Enters into Quaddy. Quaddy through some contact. Can't get it to fall. Schaefer pulls down the rebound. Quaddy defending and picks up a cheap foul.
Very cheap foul. That's a lot of times one of them frustration fouls after you feel like you got mugged on the one end and then nothing happens, and then you go and try to get the ball back, and they immediately get that foul. It's only the second foul called for the whole quarter.
Dickens and Burns in the game now as Quaddy and Schumacher take a seat.
Stanton also came back into the game.
Oh, Walker subbed out also. Lions turn it over, Cougars ball. Burns jogs it up into the front court for the Cougars. Dribble handoff to Miller. Cross to Dickens. Dickens has some space. Schaefer comes over to trap. Alexander on the ball. Miller dribbling across. Dribble handoff to Burns. Yukon setting the ball screen. Kicks it to Dickens on the right side for three. Off the side of the rim. Grant pulls down the rebound for the Lions and leaves it for Schaefer.
That's a very tough three from as far away as we were. We've got to try to get back into the basket if we can.
Grant looks for space. Can't get it to go, but the rebound falls to Alexander, and he finishes. Tie game for the Lions. Burns kicks it back to Dickens in the front court. Dickens resets. Bad pass to Miller, out of bounds. Walker, Quaddy, and Schumacher sub back in as Burns, Yukon, and Dickens take a seat. Under a minute to play here in the first. Tie game at 9. Number 5 for the Lions is in. That's Abbott. Into the short corner for Grant. Tries to find Alexander in the paint. Loose ball goes to Maggard. Abbott back out. Ball deflected. Schaefer's able to get back to it. Back to Abbott. Short corner for Grant. Finds Alexander in the middle. He loses the ball on the spin. Schaefer draws the foul on the power move up, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul called on Walker.
Alexander was in the lane an awful long time after he'd lost control of the ball.
Schaefer's long on the first. In and out on the second. Stanton pulls down the rebound, but Maggard's able to pull it away. Grant rises up and finishes. And the Lions back in the lead. 20 seconds left in the first. 11-9. Schumacher on the right side. Back up top to Walker. Quaddy at the top of the key, gives it to Miller. To Schumacher. Schumacher looking for a ball screen. Goes to Stanton in the corner. Stanton looking inside. Tough shot at the buzzer. And that's the end of the first quarter.
Sensing some frustration on our boys as they're having trouble getting anything around the zone. But we're getting away from our drive and penetrate, kick. We seem to be content on passing it around the outside, and that, it's not a very good combination for us to pass it around and then finally shoot an outside shot that's usually contested. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments coach makes here in the second quarter. Only 9 points in the first.
Schumacher with 6 of those with 2 threes. And we've shot several other threes, but nothing has fallen.
Yeah, that's the danger in the passing around, not attacking, is that you end up having a shooter that just decides to force one up after not doing anything several times.
Right.
And that's what Dickens has had a couple shots where he feels like it's time to shoot as opposed to creating a good shot.
It's a mental shot clock instead of actually having a physical shot clock here in high school ball.
Abbott stays in the game for the Lions. Schumacher defending, dribble handoff to Maggard. Maggard almost steps on the timeline. Abbott to the short corner to Grant. Schaefer throws it. I'm not sure where he was going with that.
Dickens was wide open on the bench.
Yeah.
That's who caught it, so.
Walker, Schumacher, Miller, Stanton, and Quaddy in the game. Schumacher over to Miller. Up top to Stanton. Stanton pushes in, looks for the three. Decides not to take it, gets to Walker at the free throw line. Stanton drives in, into the paint. Gets the roll.
I think we need to be attacking the basket more just like that. Not necessarily getting that shot necessarily, but at least attacking that zone.
Yeah, ball confident. When you get the double, pick up your dribble and then kick. Knocked away, stays the Lions ball. Maggard over to Alexander. Quaddy defending. Alexander kicks back to Abbott. Abbott drives in, swings it across to Schaefer. Baseline drive. Quaddy comes to pick him up. Looks like it went off of Quaddy's foot. Will stay Lions ball. Schaefer all the way up top to Abbott. Left-handed shooter. Drives into the elbow, kicks it back into the corner for Schaefer. Ball's long. Quaddy gets the rebound. Out to Miller. Miller strongly defended by Alexander. He's able to keep his dribble. Walker back dribbles and resets. Walker loves to back dribble and reset. Miller on the right side. Stanton swings it across to Schumacher into the corner for Walker. Enters into Quaddy on the block. Quaddy rises up and can't get the roll. Fight for the rebound. Grant's able to secure it.
Good look that time. Good ball movement. Finally got it fed inside.
All the way across to Alexander. Back up top to Abbott. To Maggard. Into the corner for Schaefer. He puts it over his head, switches all the way across to Alexander. Shot fake, gets to the edge of the paint. Finds Grant on the short corner. Shot fake, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Kick back to Abbott for three. Long rebound goes to Abbott.
Got to get rebounds.
Back up to Schaefer. Schumacher defending. Into the corner for Schaefer. Quaddy with the big block goes to Schumacher. Schumacher goes in and can't get the finish. Alexander gets the rebound. Alexander pushes through, finds Grant down low, and Alexander finishes on the follow. Ball to Schumacher on the right side. Flashing high is Stanton. Over to Miller, one more to Walker. Walker in the corner. Back door for Schumacher. Schumacher's able to handle it, but can't go up with it. Gets it to Stanton, over to Miller for three. It's long. Quaddy pulls down the rebound, gets the soft touch finish.
Nice. That's that going straight up vertical like we were talking about pregame, where it's not over the pushing into the player.
Alexander drives in, finds a lane. Quaddy from behind tries to get the block. Alexander, good finish, and the Lions back up by two.
That is Alexander's best offensive move that he has, watching him last night.
Walker in the corner, swung across to Schumacher up top. Schumacher drives in looking for an option, brings it back out, swings it to Miller. Miller puts down the dribble. Back over to Schumacher. Walker flashes up to the top of the key, finds Miller in the corner. Miller baseline drive, floater, in and out. Miller fights for the rebound. Schaefer's able to pull it down, up ahead to Alexander. Walker gets his hand in there. Alexander keeps his dribble to Grant. Grant step through, finishes, and 4-point lead, largest lead of the game for the Lions. Walker over to Miller on the wing. Miller pushes in. Jump stop, layup attempt is no good, but Miller will go to the line to shoot.
That is, the Lions are much better in transition than they are when you make them set up into the half-court game, especially if we can keep them out of the center. But then we've got to get back and stop transition, because they will try to push it as much as possible.
It was the first time out for the Lions.
Coach Harrell didn't sound happy about the play or something that they're running.
Smith subs in the game along with Yukinaw. Miller at the line shooting. Miller good on the first. Stanton and Yukinaw occupy the lane spaces. Alexander and Grant down low for the Lions. Miller good on both of them. Dickens at the line for Miller. He'll sub in the game. At the table, I should say, not the line. Alexander tries to inbound, deflected by Stanton. Walker steals. Floater in and out. Maggart's able to pull down the rebound. Up ahead to Schaefer.
3-on-1.
Grant, oh, that's a technical.
That's a technical.
That's a technical by Rule. We'll clip that for the Stanton makes them both. All right, we are back live.
Stepped out of bounds and then came back in, was the first to touch.
2:11 is the clock. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Our computer reset. Alexander all the way across to Schaefer. 3-point shot off the front rim. Smith's there. Gets it out to Stanton. Stanton slows it up over to Smith. And to the left side, Dickens brings it back up, 1:40 left. Over to Dickens for three. Stanton fights for the rebound. Grant looked like he went right through Adams' head.
Yeah, looked like there was a lot of contact there. They threw it away anyway. Baxter did not handle the pressure from Parsons last night, so I think we're going to have to continue with the pressure.
All right, back to the right time, 1:24, tie game. Stanton hit both free throws while we were away. Schumacher enters Quaddy at the elbow. Down screen, kick back up for Schumacher, into the corner for Dickens. Entered into Quaddy, deflected by Maine for the Lions. Will stay Cougars ball, 1:07 to play, 17-17 is the score. Quaddy inbounding, Stanton flashes high. Over to Schumacher, back up to Stanton, wide open three from the top.
Got it to fall.
And the Cougars retake the lead, 20-17, with 1 minute left to play here in the first half. Ball over to Maine. Dickens gets his hand in there. Maine looking for an option. Finds Maggard. Loose ball, and Quaddy knocks it away. 41 seconds on the clock.
Good hustle. Cougars applying some pressure, and that's given the Lions a lot more trouble.
Maggard to Grant. Quick pass over to Schaefer on the cut, but off the mark. And
he'd already decided what he was going to do with it before he even caught the ball. He knew that His player was supposed to be in the corner, and then his player cut.
Walker walks it up, 30 seconds left in the half. Count started. Coach Harrell wants a timeout.
It's the battle that I thought it would be after watching the Lions play the Vikings last night. I knew it was going to be a low-scoring event if we both ended up playing zone, which we are, unless we just happen to hit every single outside shot, which I didn't figure would be the case.
Yeah, and it seems like Coach is discouraging dribble penetration. He's looking for an entry into the post with back facing the basket and then trying to work into a double.
Baxter is playing very hard out towards the center court line just because that way they get a quick transition bucket if they happen to get a steal. And so our wings are NBA three-pointers and further out most of the time.
Schumacher all the way across the court to Dickens. Careless pass, stolen by Alexander. All the way up to Maggard, over to Schaefer for three. In and out, Quaddy pulls down the rebound. 7 seconds remaining. Walker push up ahead, right through Schaefer's body, and foul call on Stanton.
The exact bad sequence there. We had 2 turnovers, and it's just one of those things where now with 0.8 of a second left, they can tie the ball game up here right before we go into halftime.
Tie game 20 all. Dickens gets it off before the horn, but falls short, and we are into halftime.
Well, we're starting over 0-0. 20 points for a half for both teams. Very low scoring event. That's what I anticipated out of Baxter. They did not score a lot of points last night in a full game. But they are successfully slowing our game down and our scoring as well.
All right, we'll take an audio break here and come back for the second half. We'll send you through the first half recap. All right, we're back, ready to start the third quarter. Cougars have the arrow. Oh, I have my game clock wrong from that adjustment.
Colson into Walker. Walker over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker over to Stanton. Colson, Jace Walker in the corner for three off the back iron. Grant pulls it down. It's like they're going 1-3-1 here on their defense now. Long pass all the way over. Tries to get it through Quaddy. Quaddy has his hand up, but then it goes off, and Stanton can't recover it in time, and it stays Lions ball. Lions inbounds over to Maine. Shot in the corner for three. Stanton pulls down the rebound, outlets to Quaddy. Quaddy to Colson. Colson up to Walker. Walker goes all the way in and finishes.
Good move by Walker, keeping body balance and finding an angle to the backboard. Quaddy playing up high, looking for that trap. Trap comes in the corner, and Maine steps through, draws the foul.
A little bit of over pursuit there and let him step in as they were still collapsing on him and got in too close.
That was called on Dickens. That's his first. Schaefer over to Alexander. Quaddy trying to read that pass up top for the steal. Maine over to Schaefer. High pass to Maggard. He's able to save it. Alexander gets high in the air.
Oh.
Wow.
Looked like he was a little out of control, lost the ball, but they're going to bail him out with a foul on that one. And they call that one on Ben. Cougars have two quick fouls.
Ball into the corner to Maine. Trap comes. Walker and Dickens there.
He's out of bounds. Yep. Tried to drive around him and was already that close to the baseline, and he stepped right out of bounds. He was hoping to be bailed out with a foul call, but did not get it.
Dickens to Stanton at the free throw line. Dickens in the short corner, back out to Stanton. Over to Walker. Schumacher holds. Back up to Walker. Dickens in the corner takes the three. Quaddy gets the rebound. Grant, I'm sorry, that was number 10, Schaefer, with the big block. All the way across to Maggard, looks for Grant in the middle, and Walker comes through, fouls him from behind.
That is the open pass on a 1-3-1, is that diagonal to the opposite side.
Entered into Grant. He goes up and gets it. Shot fake, finds Alexander in the paint. Alexander muscles through. Cougars quickly up ahead to Schumacher, back to Stanton. Schumacher's open for three, drives in. Alexander strips it away. Schumacher gets back to it. And foul called on
Not for sure which one.
the Lions. Maggard took that in the face.
Gonna go with 15, that's Alexander. That is his second. Nobody in foul trouble with as few fouls that have been called.
Schumacher enters it into Quaddy in the short corner, back up top to Stanton for three. It's good. Cougars break the tie, 3-point lead, 25-22. 5 minutes left in the third. Stolen away by Walker. Walker, good V dribble to the basket, floater, or a finger roll really. Rims out. Grant up ahead. Gets the extra step, no call, out of bounds.
Could be off Stanton's foot.
Will stay Lions ball.
Good defense not to give up the layup.
Grant made the double step through there, which, wow, good play by Stanton. Gets fouled from behind, no call, and still able to get the steal. Stanton over to Walker, into the corner for Schumacher. Back over to Stanton. Into the corner for Walker. Finds Stanton at the elbow. Rises up off the rim twice. Grant rises up to get the rebound. And over to Schaefer.
It's a good look, much quicker ball movement. Just couldn't get the shot to fall that time.
Switched all the way across to Alexander. He pulls up for three. Air ball, Walker on the backside gets the rebound.
That's the shot we want them to take.
Walker over to,
Oh, careless.
confusion
That's
there.
gonna go off.
Walker just give the ball to Schumacher. He's wide open. Instead, I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Not sure. Your computer screen was right where I couldn't see what happened with the exchange, but it looked like it was just going to be the easy, simple handoff.
Four minutes left in the third. It will be the Lions ball out of the timeout. That's one of those plays where you just outsmart yourself. Schumacher's on the wing with nobody guarding him. Why would we run a dribble handoff there? Just pass him the ball. You know, we got a wide open shooter on the wing.
Right.
Lions into the front court. Schumacher on ball. Abbott in the game for the Lions. Up top to Maggard. Alexander at the elbow. Stanton tips it away. Maggard into the backcourt. Schumacher and Stanton come on the trap. Ball's loose. Schumacher gets on the floor. Schaefer's able to get it back. Pass up ahead to Alexander, and Walker from behind trips him up.
Yeah, he gives the who me look, but I'm pretty sure he took out his legs.
That's the fourth team foul of the quarter on the Cougars, so it'll be the bonus the rest of the way this quarter for the Lions. Abbott into the corner for Schaefer. Three-pointer in and out. Good job by Burns holding the box out. Over to Schumacher. Across the key. Switching over to Miller. Miller into the corner for Burns. Burns finds Stanton on the cut. Back to Burns, open for three. Off the rim. Yukonaw's there for the rebound.
Oh, good job by Yukonaw with a good rebound. Burns had a good shot, just didn't get it to fall.
Yukonaw at the line to shoot two.
Got the first one to roll in.
Schumacher and Stanton sub out for Quaddy. Did Quaddy just return? It was Quaddy and Dickens that
Quaddy
just
and
came back
Dickens
in.
that came back in. Yukonaw on his second shot. It's good.
Alexander on the end line, inbounds. Cougars have the trap set up. Abbott gets stuck, and
Called timeout by coach.
Lions coach wants a timeout.
Full timeout by Lions. It's a good job on the trap there. Burns was cutting off the back pass then, so he was trying to force his way through, and the coach saw he was not going to survive that. Smart play by their coach to call timeout because he was stuck.
5-point lead. This is the biggest lead for the Cougars since the 6-0 start.
Yeah.
This is the third place game here at the Lancer Classic, 32nd Annual Lancer Classic.
Still a lot of pride to go with it, so glad to see they're coming out playing hard. They look like they're definitely have stepped up since the first quarter on their defense. The second and third quarter now, they've been playing very aggressive.
Inbounded to Jacob Grant.
Looks like they're going man here.
All the way up to Alexander. Alexander holds it up. Looks like he had an opportunity to get to the basket, but chose not to. Over to Grant, all the way across to Abbott. Quick pass to Alexander in the corner, baseline drive. Quaddy's there. Good job by Quaddy holding position. Outlet to Miller.
Made him take a horrible off-balance shot there.
To Burns on the wing, back over to Miller. To Dickens.
Oh, got his arm. That's his third.
Third team foul also of the quarter on Baxter Springs. Yukonow steps up to get the ball over to Dickens. Burns on the left side, Miller in the right corner. Ball to Burns on the left wing. Yukonow at the top, bounce pass to Miller. Into the corner for Dickens. Dickens resets up top. Bad pass, Miller's able to keep it. To the key, Miller looks at an option, dribbles back, kicks it over to Dickens. Dickens drives in, kicks to Burns in the corner for three. In and out.
Man, that was a good looking shot, but just couldn't get it to fall.
Schaefer to Grant. Grant into the corner for Alexander, back up to Abbott. Abbott one more to Maggard, entered in all the way across, swung,
Oh, nice.
Maggard just tried to make a no-look pass, and Abbott was cutting. Nobody there on the backside. Turnover by the Lions. That's just an unforced error by the Lions. They did a really nice job of moving the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, because Burns came up to defend, and they immediately kicked it, but just kicked it right to the out of bounds instead of the guy that was standing there wide open.
Schumacher back in the game, along with Stanton. Over to Schumacher, open for three. He's good.
Good deal. Needed that. Broke it up to an 8-point lead now.
Ball over to Alexander into the front court. Quaddy and Miller setting the trap. Quaddy gets a hand on the ball. Alexander looking for an option. Entered down to Grant. Grant scores. Cougars pushing the pace. Dickens up ahead to Schumacher. Schumacher looking for baseline. Back dribbles back up to Dickens. Dickens over to Miller. Miller back to Dickens. Cut through to Dickens on the left side. Finds Stanton into the short corner for Quaddy. Quaddy, tough angle shot. Grant gets the rebound. Under a minute to play. Up ahead to Alexander. He shot fakes back to Schaefer. Takes 2 steps. No call. And buries the three.
8 back down to 3 now with the last couple possessions.
Schumacher dribbles up. Over to Dickens. Into the corner for Miller. Miller gets bumped off. 20 seconds left. Dickens pulls up his dribble. Schumacher comes out to get it back to Quaddy at the center circle. Leaves it for Schumacher. 15 seconds. Over to Miller. Miller back to Schumacher. Schumacher comes across the frame, gives it to Dickens. Dickens drives through, kicks it back to Stanton for a long two. It's good.
Nice ball movement. They thought they were out of time.
And I didn't follow that play. Sorry, Alexander took a shot at the buzzer and fell short. And that's the end of the third.
That's one of those where Schumacher hit the 3, but it's the angled 3 instead of the corner 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he hits really well from.
Yeah, if you're a shooter asking for your spot to get the 3, you're definitely looking for the wing, not the corner. Yet it seems like we love to pass it to the corner.
NBA, they love to hit the corner 3s. It's the shortest distance.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. The NBA, which I wish they would just adjust that court to make it long enough to accommodate their full three-point line. But yeah, the NBA three is shorter in the corner, and plus that's just a strategy to force a defender to not be in front of the basket, so
Yeah.
Harding can drive in.
Unfortunately, school policy does not allow any of our players to have a beard to play with. Otherwise, I think that'd make all the difference.
Cougars slowing it up again. 3-point lead for the Cougars. Dribble handoff to Walker. Into Stanton.
What happened? Walker took a dive there.
Stanton's able to fight through. Quaddy gets the ball in the corner, looking for an
He's
option,
gonna
rises
rise up on that one.
Stanton pulls down the rebound, draws the foul.
Going to be on the floor on the rebound. Unusual. Quaddy usually is able to rise up above the shorter player and finish that one.
Walker inbound, and he appears to be limping after that last play. Gets it into Stanton. He takes the quick three. Off the front rim, Alexander's there for the rebound. Schaefer into the corner for Maggard. Bad pass, Dickens gets the steal. Alexander defending. Dickens, tough shot, gets the finish.
Didn't get the foul call, but there should have been. Should have been a three-point play.
Schaefer steps through, leaves it for Maggard. Can't get the roll. Walker pulls down the rebound, deflected by Abbott. Goes to Quaddy. Schumacher up ahead. He pulls up for three and gets fouled on the shot. Is that Alexander's fourth?
That is his fourth. With 6:37 left to go in the game, and the coach is debating. Nope, he's going to leave him in.
So Schumacher at the line to shoot three.
Walker practiced that no-look backwards pass.
Oh, spins
wow.
out. Good on the second, 6-point lead. Can make it a 3-possession game with this free throw.
Which is critical. We still got a long ways to go, but it's always nice to at least have 3 possessions.
Nothing but net, 7-point lead for the Cougars.
Oh, got away with.
Schaefer's able to rise up and get the ball, passes it over to Alexander. Schumacher on ball, Alexander pushes through over to Abbott. Abbott travels.
Traveled. Did the head fake and took off running before he put the ball on the floor. The referees love that call. They may miss a lot of other travels, but they do love that call.
Yeah. Walker brings it up into the center. Schaefer defending up top, and they're 1-2-2, or 3-2 maybe you would call it.
Yeah, with Abbott down low.
Abbott tries to save it, goes right to Quaddy, and he nails the jumper. 9-point lead now for the Cougars. Cougars still in the press.
We can give him the assist on that one.
Into Alexander, and Maggard can't handle the pass.
He looked ahead before he caught it. You could see he was already trying to look up court before he caught that ball.
Timeout by the Lions. They have 1 remaining.
Full timeout. Yeah, that could end up being critical if they mount a comeback and only having 1 timeout left now. Very low scoring game.
The Cougars have picked up the pace from the first half, though. They had 20 in the first, so they've already got 18 here in the second. They've held the Lions just to 9 points here in the second half. In fact, I don't know that the Lions have scored. Yeah, they did get 1 here in the fourth. Alexander made the
3. Made the 3.
I thought it was the cut by. He fed Grant fed him on the cut to the basket. I think to open up the fourth. Is that right? I don't know. We don't know our timeline. We'll have to go back. Someone rewind it and text us.
I think it was. I think you're right. I think that was the first because I think they made the 3 right at the end of the third quarter because that's when they narrowed the lead.
Okay. All right, it is the Cougars' ball after the turnover by the Lions. This is a big possession to get it to double digits if we can score here. Dickens inbounding, gets it to Walker into the front court. Walker holds. Over to Dickens on the right side. Quaddy at the elbow. Stanton in the short quarter all the way across to Schumacher. Schumacher takes the 3. Nails it.
Good. Nice shot again by Ben. Long pass.
Alexander's able to come down with the ball. Almost threw it into the backcourt.
Yeah, he was really tempted.
Answer by Schaefer. And back to a 9-point lead. Walker holds, gets it to Quaddy at the elbow. Schumacher again for 3.
Short.
Abbott pulls down the rebound. Stanton comes up ahead. Abbott loses his feet and gets it to Grant.
He traveled with the slide. That was a travel.
I don't know what the whistle is for.
I don't know. He acted like he wanted the official to come over and converse something. And
7-point lead for the Cougars. Schumacher drives baseline, double team comes. Looks for Quaddy in the short corner. Maggart's able to get the steal. Over to Schaefer. Schaefer behind the back, up ahead, finds Grant. Grant takes the extra step.
ooh,
Can't get the finish as Stanton pulls down the rebound, leaves it for Walker.
Baxter's now picked up their intensity.
Over to Dickens. Dickens to Schumacher again. He dribbles it back up. All the way across.
Luckily it's touched.
Walker picks it back up in the backcourt. To Quaddy at the elbow, rises up, in and out. Stanton gets a touch on it, falls to Quaddy. Kicks out to Dickens for 3. Long rebound goes to Maggart. Walker steps in and commits the foul. First team foul of the quarter on the Cougars. Coach is encouraging the players not to attack the basket, which we like to hear.
Well, they're over pursuing so hard, we should be able to get to the basket now. Schaefer pushing off to get separation. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Schaefer gets all the way into the paint. Bad pass. Miller deflects it to Quaddy. And Dickens back into the front court for the Cougars. Quaddy open on the wing, gets baseline. And steps on the line, out of bounds. Turnover to the Lions.
Right idea. He had 2 short guys that was going to have to try to defend him, rising up for the layup, but got too close to that end line and apparently either dribbled the ball on the end line or stepped on it.
Maggart over to Schaefer. All the way up ahead to Abbott. Up top to Alexander. Shot fake, drives in, looks all the way to Abbott in the corner. Abbott drives in and takes the extra step. That's just a player that's doesn't have the license to shoot, because that should have been a shot right there from him. But he got tentative and felt like he should kick it. Took the extra step.
He had a really bad night last night shooting. He shot probably 6 or 7 times and was over. So I think that was probably a mental stop in his own brain, because I think last night he definitely was shooting all the time.
Ball deflected. Stanton's able to get it back. Schumacher at the key over to Dickens. Dickens baseline pulls up. Long rebound goes to Alexander. Dickens reaches in to get the tie up, but called for the foul.
That's one of those frustration fouls again where you wish your shot would have went down, and that never occurs. But hustle play to try to get back into it.
Schaefer being defended by Quaddy. Miller sets the trap. Dribbled off Quaddy's foot. Schaefer loses his feet and travels. 3:15 left in the fourth. Cougars holding a 7-point lead.
Had several opportunities and good looks here.
Schaefer gets the steal on Schumacher and goes in for the dunk. Can't get the dunk to go, but gets the roll. And now it's a 5-point lead. Trap set on the side. Dickens all the way across. Leaves it for Schumacher. And timeout by the Cougars. Yeah, it was interesting to see Schumacher make that three and then immediately fire up another one and came up short on it. And you just see the change in his mental state from the make to the miss.
Yeah.
You know, now there's several possessions in a row where he's feeling like he can't shoot.
And it's affecting the rest of his game.
Yeah.
With the passing and then just the steal there at the top of the key even.
Yeah, you got to stay aggressive even if you miss a shot. You know, you're gonna miss shots.
Oh yeah.
All right, 5-point lead for the Cougars. 2:57 left. Miller's open in the corner. Quaddy can't find him. All the way across the court, gets it to Schumacher.
That's that dangerous pass again.
Walker finds Stanton back door. Stanton goes up and gets it, comes back down, finds Schumacher. One more to Walker. Walker finds Quaddy at the elbow.
Oh, too hard.
Just too many passes there. Take the open shot.
Contested. He just didn't have the confidence and wanted to bring it all the way down to finish.
Meggert all the way back door to Maine. Maine can't finish. Haven't seen Maine lately. He started the game, but I don't know that he's been in very much.
No.
Schaefer gets away with a block reach.
That's the way it was last night as well. Maine was not in the game most of the time. Most of the time it was the Abbott kid that came in.
Walker in the short corner. Timeout, Cougars.
We're down to our last timeout.
The Lions have gone to a trapping style of defense to try to create some turnovers, and Coach Harrell is expressing to his team that they can't settle to hold the ball there. They need to catch it and go.
Yeah, exactly. It's not where it was earlier on where you could just stand out because they weren't pressuring the ball. They were content to stay packed in the zone. And now with them being more aggressive, it's gonna lead to open looks like we've had closer to the basket because they're pressuring the ball so far out now, where earlier they were staying in and letting us shoot the outside. So we've got to get our minds right, keep moving the ball, and we're going to get open shots close to the basket. Baxter had to switch to man-to-man last night against Parsons, and then that's when it went to the 10-2 run. Parsons just ate them up when they cannot play man defense.
Walker holds up top, gets it to Miller. Over to Schumacher. Trap comes, gets it to Miller. Miller into the corner to Walker. Trap comes, gets it back up top to Schumacher. Schumacher back dribble, spins out of it, over to Stanton. Stanton into the short corner, switches it to Miller. Miller takes the three.
Short.
Rebound to Schaefer, out ahead to Alexander. And Alexander finishes. 3-point lead now for the Cougars. Miller up ahead to Stanton. No foul called. Stanton up to Schumacher. Schumacher enters it down low to Walker. Walker all the way over to Miller. Miller to the elbow floater. Quaddy comes in. Schaefer pulls down the rebound. Or Maggard, I'm sorry, pulls down the rebound. Over to Alexander. Schumacher defending on ball. Over to Maggard. Into the front court on the left side. Pulls up his dribble, switches it over to Maine. Maine back up to Alexander. Alexander to Schaefer for three. Quaddy pulls down the rebound.
Good strong with his hands. Looks like he got wrapped on the wrist a few times.
Miller, Schumacher. Schumacher over to Stanton, wide open for three. Alexander in the air, and foul called on Schaefer as Stanton ripped through on the shot fake.
It's only the third foul, so we still got a long ways to go before we get the bonus for either team.
Dickens subbing in the game for Miller. Walker inbounding for the Cougars. Into the corner for Stanton. Stanton back up top to Dickens at the half-court line. Over to Schumacher. Schumacher gets fouled from behind as they're trying to foul to get into the bonus. That was Grant on the foul. And the Cougars will shoot bonus the rest of the way out. Quaddy inbounding to Walker right at the half-court line. Gets it to Stanton. Stanton back to Walker. Inside for Dickens. Dickens kicks to Schumacher for three. Goes short. Long rebound. Walker, good hustle, is able to get to it. Knocked away by Grant. Will stay Cougars ball. Boy, that would have been a big three if Schumacher would have hit that.
They got a timeout, Lions. Their last timeout with 40 seconds to go. It's been quite a while since we've had a bucket.
Yeah, it has. We went into a stall style of offense, and then it becomes this hesitation of, should I take the shot or should I not? And then there's so much pressure on needing to make that shot if you take it.
Yeah. Yeah, just with the, they made a run. We had a good lead and a good run. They upped their intensity, up of their pressure. And a lot of times that leads to just offensive things working for you. That's what happens with us a lot of times is our defensive intensity created that lead. And then once we start backing our game down, it just diminishes the whole intensity of our gameplay, both ends.
Yeah, yeah, and our misses have turned into transition buckets for the Lions.
Correct. And I really think we could get inside shots if we keep working it, because they've got all their big players way outside now, and they're trying to rely on little guys in the underneath position.
Walker inbounds to Stanton in the corner. Stanton's getting fouled. They're not calling it.
Finally did.
Stanton goes to the ground. He'll go to the line to shoot. Stanton good on the first, makes it a two-possession game. Cougars led by as many as 12.
Not that long ago. It's going to be hard.
Misses the second. Grant's there for the rebound. Schaefer up ahead. Gets to the basket, takes an extra step. Walker tears it away. And
Got a foul, but they... Baxter coach is using the old get a saddle.
Walker makes the first. Big free throw by Walker. 5-point lead now for the Cougars. Walker gets them both. Alexander up ahead to Maggard. Over to Schaefer. Schaefer into the corner for Main. Main for three. He gets it. Inbounded to Walker. Up ahead to Quaddy. Quaddy gets trapped, and foul comes on Main. So 3-point lead again, and Quaddy will go to the line to shoot.
That was a big three by them to get them back to a one-possession game. It comes down to free throws now.
Quaddy makes the first.
It's the best we've shot free throws in a long time.
Makes them both. 5-point lead. Two-possession game again. 13 seconds left. Maggard into the backcourt.
That's a double. That's a backcourt because he was in the air.
Just a careless decision. Yep.
Mental error there.
All right, Cougars have the ball, 5-point lead. Lions are likely going to try to foul. 10 seconds remaining. Into the backcourt for Walker. Walker's able to get through pressure. Over to Quaddy. Into the front court, and that should do it for the game as Quaddy holds.
Baxter had chose not to foul after that, and probably the wise decision. It's really kind of a double mental error, the pass going backwards, but then also the player deciding to jump, because if he probably just runs and establishes himself in the front court instead of being in the air, jumping, a lot of times you could probably avoid that backcourt.
Yeah.
Cougars finish out the tournament, third place. They'll do an announcement here as soon as we get our prayer done.
For the 32nd Annual Anthem Classic, I'd like to congratulate the College High Cougars for a game well played, third place.
Probably about as much enthusiasm for a third place trophy as there should be.
Yeah. A little yeah to acknowledge it, but still a third place game. But hey, it's always good to get a win.
It is. It always is good to finish a tournament with a win. It's definitely better than fourth place, and it probably actually feels better than second place that you ended the tournament on a win. Have a lot of games to go now.
I believe that puts us at 9-7 on the year. Is that right?
I don't know. That's what I had failed to look.
Good to come out of this tournament with 2 wins. Could have been 3. You know, we just not quite enough against Riverton, but of course, the game against Sunrise is just one that we'll remember for a long time. It would have been much sweeter to remember it as the reason we won the tournament.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we'll sign off here. On behalf of Cougar Basketball, I'm Brian Schumacher alongside Brad Burns. Have a good night, and we'll send you through the second half recap as we close out.